Ladies and gentlemen, the one video I never wanted to make, but it was overdue. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the insider knowledge that I have on the current status of Eliud Kipchoge's season and career for the next few years. After he won the Olympic gold medal at the last Tokyo Olympic Games marathon, many people thought that that might have been his last ever Olympic Games. Now, in today's video I'm going to be telling you just why that is wrong. First of all, let's start off with going back to the very beginning. When Eliud Kipchoge started running at the very young age of 11 years old, he then became elite at around the age of 17 to 19, being picked up first by Adidas. This was a phenomenal achievement for him, and he managed to get himself up the ranks in the world scene. To begin with, Eliud Kipchoge started running cross-country races initially. He knew that his coach Patrick Sang had advised very good advice. Patrick Sang was also his next door neighbour at the time, as well as his running coach, which made for the perfect scenario for him to wake up every morning and have his coach right there on the doorstep telling him exactly what paces to run and how far. On top of this, Patrick Sang was also a very successful runner himself and has a lot of knowledge when it comes to building and shaping world-class athletes. As the years passed by, Eliud Kipchoge got stronger and stronger and stronger. In the 1500 to 3000 and gradually working his way up to the 5 and 10,000 meters, it was pretty obvious that this guy was going to be something special. Already as a teenager, he was challenging for world medals at the World Championships. He was running at Olympic medal championship races already at such young ages. Fast forward almost 2 decades, and this man is now the greatest marathoner to ever live, being the first human to ever run and break the 2-hour marathon barrier, and also running a phenomenal world record time of 2 hours 1 minute 39 seconds at the Berlin Marathon. There's not much more that Eliud can do. He's won multiple Olympic gold medals, he's won multiple world championships, he's an all-round African god to say the least, and on all of these things, he is still going yet again. So, now with this far in the video, you might be asking, what is this secret insider knowledge that you have? Well, when you have a YouTube channel with over 60,000 subscribers who are all mainly running fans and running coaches, you get emails every day from people all around the world. People who know a lot, people who coach these athletes, people who have secrets to say the least. Going into these emails, a lot of them are junk emails, people asking me to advertise their stupid rucksacks or something absolute meaningless that has nothing to do with running. Here on this channel, I've pretty much never done advertisements because I feel this channel needs to be raw and stay amateur and humble. That's why I do have a donations link tab down below for anyone who can support the channel, and I've never gone to product placements or sponsorship deals with any company. Aside from that, these people do often send the odd, very interesting email. Sometimes I'll get emailed by coaches, sometimes even elite athletes themselves. I'm also in a Facebook group which I won't name, but it has only around 1,000 group members. There's also one called the International Athletics Alliance, which a lot of you may know, and I follow that one closely too, which I'm sure has around 100,000 members now at this point. A lot of the news and the inside knowledge I have is actually pointing towards the fact that Eliud Kipchoge has one more big race left in him. Whether that be a city marathon major or one more Olympics in 2024, no one exactly knows. But what I can tell you is that it is certain we are nearing the end of Eliud Kipchoge's running career. It's different if you're an elite runner running 207s or 205s in the marathon. But when you've run the fastest ever time predicted by a marathon human on earth, your time is limited when it comes to how fit you can stay at such an old age for a marathon runner. Now obviously Eliud isn't exactly old, but when you approach your 40s you do begin to deteriorate in terms of cardiovascular and oxygen uptake. Being as efficient as he really was back in his early 20s is extremely hard, and we saw just that when he ran the 5k in Paris for a fun run. He was struggling to run the speeds necessary to even run 13 lows. This man has become an endurance king, and it's shown. But He's also lost a great deal of speed in the process and a lot of fast twitch muscle fibers from back in his 5 and 10k days on the track, as well as his cross country days. Going through to the next Olympics, it's really unsure whether Eliud will be defending it. He's been asked multiple times in live streams, but he tends to simply grin at it. He tends to not really reply or even read the question out. It's pretty obvious that it is in his mind and he is considering it very seriously. But back to what I was saying around a minute ago, when you're at the very top, you have to think carefully about your next move. Take for example Conor McGregor. Now, I don't want to offend anyone and he's a fantastic athlete and fighter, but Conor McGregor is a perfect example of someone who is at the top but their ego is too big, so they continue to want more and more. You see, Conor McGregor was amazing. He was dominating the UFC in his weight. He was doing a phenomenal job at pretty much being the legend of the UFC. But he went one step too far. He continued to try and drag it out past his means and overworked his body and pretty much thought he was better than he was. What ended up happening, he got beaten by a bunch of guys that were nowhere near his standard when he was in his prime. This can easily happen in running, and it also happened to Dennis Kimetto, but in a more suspicious situation. When an athlete is the best and runs world record times, for them to continue trying to hit those world records, they and their coaches have to be certain they are in at least a good shape to challenge or be close to that time. The problem with Eliud is nobody wants to see him go out running 2:07 marathons struggling with injuries and burnout. We've seen this with Kenenisa Bekele, but I feel like it's different with Eliud. This is why over the past 2 to 3 years, Eliud's only really raced once or maybe twice at the most every year. He knows how important it is to build a base and to stay consistent. This is why there really are only 1 or 2 major races left in his legs, and I'm certain of this. For Eliud to continue into his 40s, he will be risking a Conor McGregor situation and humiliating his entire name. Conor McGregor went from being a phenomenal legend of the UFC to becoming a meme on TikTok for people saying excuses about why he lost. That's no joke, and Eliud has to be very careful that he doesn't damage his name by continuing to go past his body's limits. No human is limited, he may say, but he's also knowledgeable and he knows where to draw the line. Thank you for watching today's video, and don't forget to put your input in the comments down below as to what you think. This is pretty sturdy information, and I have to say it's pretty certain, to say the least, that Eliud will be picking one last marathon. Whether it's to break his world record once again or to win one last Olympic gold, I'm unsure, but it's most likely going to be one of those. Before you go, please smash the like button, and if you can support the channel, donate $1, $10, $20, it really helps. Thank you.